Hello and welcome back to the garden. Um, I'm doing the same thing that I've been doing for a while, just getting my compost into the garden, pulling up weeds, moving plants that I either want to put in another place or I'm not going to keep them at all. I'm slowly turning the backyard into a full garden, a full food garden with a few ornamental plants here and there. But my main goal is to turn this whole back area into a grow space for food for me and my family. So I'm going to walk you around and show you what I've gotten done so far today. And then I need to re-angle the camera, but right down here next to the house, on the back of the chicken coop, I should say, I used to have cactuses here, and so I pulled them all up because most of them were rotting at the root, and I'm not really sure why. I pulled all the weeds up in this area and all of the cactuses and the weeds, and then I mulched it really good with grass clippings from the garden. As I told you before, quite often I get grass clippings from my neighbors when they cut their grass, so I've been just putting that there, and now I'm going to put some compost on top of it. So let me get you guys turned around and I'll show you what I've gotten done so far today. Okay, so here we're on the side of the fig tree. You know, I talked about it in my last video, how I need to clean it out and move this little cage once the leaves die back. But I'm moving my way further into the back garden, and so now I've gotten soil down here. This is my orange tree, and it's very skinny. I don't know if I gotta do some research and see if it's growing right, because I'm really not sure what's going on with it. It's not filling in, and I've been composting it and treating it and everything. So I'm gonna cut it back a lot this winter, I believe, and see if that makes it branch out better. Well, look fuller. But before I do that, I will do some research and see, because maybe this is just what it's supposed to look like. But it's way too tall, so I'm going to cut some of the top off of it anyway. But back to the mulching. I've mulched all of this in a semicircle. I had a lot of grass clippings here, so that's what I did. I just laid grass clippings and soil. And I may put some more soil later on, but it's getting late in the evening. And see, around this way, this is going to be the path. And it's going to slowly work. I need to get someone to come help me move that bench, or I need to tear it apart and reassemble it where I want it to be, because it's too heavy for me to move by myself, and it needs repainting. This tree line, most of this is not from my yard, but I'm hoping to get someone to come out here and just cut it all down, because you see, if we go up, that's a very tall tree, and I don't want it here, because I really believe that maybe those large garden snakes that I see every now and then are living in there, and maybe even a possum or two, because it is quite thick, the brush. But back to the soil that I did. I went all around the trees, and I created this path. And once I get that bench moved, I'm going to keep moving back all the way to the alley. And then I finish getting soil on this bed. This is in front of the main fruit tree, the main fruit cage. I finished getting the soil all the way around, down and under there. And if we just move around, if we just move around to this side, you can see all of that has compost on it now. And all the way over to these pepper plants, which I gave them a good water yesterday and again today because of where they sit. I forget about them sometimes, but if you can see, there are more peppers coming on the plant. And so tomorrow, right there, here, that's Jerusalem artichoke. I'm going to leave that there, but I'm going to clean right along the cage there and put some fresh compost and turn that into a grow bed too. I'm waiting for the Jerusalem artichoke to die back. So what I'll probably do is just lay some tarp back there and until it gets a little cooler, because let me see if I can show you, but see where that fence is? That's where the property stops. So I've got quite a ways to go yet to get back over there. And then here in this is the second okra bed that I have in the back. I put some soil around that. And I'm still working on my walkways here, filling them in with anything dry I can find. But I laid cardboard here today along this fence area and got all of this bed mulched. And those are green beans. They're finally starting to flower. So I think I saw a bean or two when I was messing with them. Yeah. Let's see if I can get you down in there. You see, it's finally starting to put on beans. And so this area is starting to look better. Tomorrow I'm going to, well, I think my hope is tomorrow I'm going to remove all of that Malabar spinach off of this fencing and give it to the chickens so that I can get some peas started there. And then this group of flowers, this is a lot of flowers down in there. I'm going to separate them all out. See, each one of those is a plant. So I need to separate them all out and disperse some of them. I'm going to leave some of them here, but most of them I'm going to disperse out throughout the rest of the garden. And then there, that big clump of flowers, I need to do the same thing with it. Separate a lot of them and finish trimming out the garden with what I have, my garden paths, because these, they grow very densely, but they can take a lot of drought. And so I want to use them for my borders as I farm the garden beds. That I will have these as borders along the edges of all the beds. And then here's another grouping full of weeds right now, but all of this I'll probably move and put them in other parts of the garden. And my baby chickens are getting so big. But these are the first 4 hatchings. 3 of them look like Big Mama and 1 is a red. A New Hampshire mix. They all have a little afro like their dad. But I have 2 smaller ones left that's still in the chicken house. I don't let them come out yet because they can still fit between the wires. And I thought they were big enough, but they got out. So I'm going to give them a few more weeks before I let them move around with these guys, these little girls. And I'm still hoping one of them will be a rooster, but I think not. So I'm going to try to get my hands on 2 roosters before winter comes, if at all possible. But they're doing really good. And they're so cute with their little afros. And they're going to be big girls. I like that. So But let's get back to this bed over here. Okay, so this is the bed I was talking about earlier that I had all of the cactuses in. See, it's by the planter that I made out of that old toilet. I'm going to put some soil all down through here, out of some compost down through here, and turn this into a new planting bed. Um, and right now I'm just going to put the soil because it's getting late in the evening, but I want to come out and see. I have more of these and go all the way around fixing where they died, because I have some empty spaces here and there, and get this bed together. So let's just hurry up and get the soil in so we can go in for the night. Okay, so I put, that's about three bags of soil. I don't have my pruners, so I need to come back and cut that. That's some kind of weed. I need to cut it down to the ground, and that back there, I'm thinking I'm going to put something to block my soil from going under the chicken coop. But for now, I've gotten this area mulched and laid with compost, and tomorrow I'll start coming this way, going past that tree. That's a chipling plant. I need to cut it back. I think I talked about it on one of my other videos, but I haven't gotten to cutting it back, and it's struggling. It's yellow, and the fruit it's putting on a little fruit, but most of the fruit is not ripening. So I need to really get back here and clean this out, cut away all the dead and dying branches, and compost around it really well. So that's where we are right now as far as what I've gotten done today. Tomorrow I'm not sure how much I'll get done, but hopefully I'll finish this bed here, and because I also have to start doing some planting, starting some new seedlings. But that's it for now. It's getting quite late in the evening, and I haven't made dinner, so I need to put up all my supplies and my gardening stuff and close up the chickens and get in the house and make dinner. So, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, give me a thumbs up, something to let me know that I'm creating content that you're interested in. And until the next time, be good. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.